describe. I'm going to give you the recommended strategy and how you use the calculator to plan for your race with precision. Okay, so now basically there are three ways to run a race, even, negative, or positive. Okay, what does that mean? Now look at this chart. So everything here, everybody cross the line at the same time, 60 minutes. Now, but the even split person runs the first 5 and the second 5 km the same, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Understand? Negative split means first half slower, second half faster. Positive split means first half faster, second half slower. All right. Okay, so that's what I mean by even, negative, positive. Negative means getting faster and faster. Positive means getting slower and slower. Now, okay, what's the pros and cons? Okay, positive split. Now, if you start fast the race, psychologically you are ahead of a target. Right, you feel good. You're ahead of everybody. Maybe you feel good. Okay, but the risk is that you accumulate lactic acid, right? And you risk building up heat also. Okay, resulting in the possibility of failure. And also, if at the end of the day you are running slower at the end, people overtake you, you will feel psychologically worse. So it can backfire. So positive split is honestly doesn't sound very good, right? Now, even split is what? Even split you try to even out, right? So you prevent early accumulation of all these things. And psychologically, you know, at least the pace is sustainable for at least 3/4 of the race. And also the first few laps, because you start slower, you will feel comfortable. It can boost your confidence. Now the downside is this. If the pace was an overestimation, that means you overestimate your potential. And then I say I want to start off at this pace. Then later on you may pay the price. You become a positive split. Right? Now negative split is not so much different from an even split because you simply speed up more in the last 1 to 2 laps if you have energy. Alright, very straightforward, right? Now, okay guys, which do you think is the best method to run a 2.4 km? Which method? Do you like to chiong and then store up, front load your timing first and then see how you fare later on? Which do you think is really the best method? Okay, everybody negative speed. Wow, fantastic. Everybody giving more the answer. But let me tell you, even until now, when I go for the race, 20 people running in front of me at the start. I mean, last time, I know. Last time, if I go for the marathon, I don't know why people still run in front of me. If you want to run even speed or negative speed, then you should be starting behind me. Does that make sense? That's just a tongue in cheek, huh? But basically, people, when we say this, right, because by the end of the day, there's a lot of adrenaline. Everybody want to go fast. And that's why the discipline is very important. Okay? So yes, we may give the correct answer now, but even I myself, oftentimes, end up, because of adrenaline, find myself running faster than I should when I check my watch, in the first 1 km or so. Okay? So very good model answer, right? But let's let the experts tell us. All right, let the real experts. Okay? This is the world marathon record, okay, for the last few years. But you can see everything in green is negative split. First half marathon, second half marathon. After all, they have a negative split. Look at that. So many are negative split. Okay, for the world marathon. Okay, now even those that are pink box, they are slight positive split, but arguably this is negligible. We're talking about 2 hour race. You want to be slower by 38 seconds, you want to argue, also a bit hard, right? It's very, very negligible. But what we can see here is really even to negative split is the best. Okay, now look at the Chicago Marathon, guys. Look at the stats here. Now, most of the runners, these are the percentage finishes. This is the finishing time. Okay, as we go down, the time here is getting slower and slower. And you can see most of the slower runners, most of them use a positive split method. You see, most runners who are slow are running with a positive split. Now, 30% of the fast finishers, you see, if you see the timing here, the faster ones, 30% actually use a even split. Some use a negative split. What I'm trying to say here? The summary is this. Faster finishers tend to employ a negative split or even split strategy. So really, we need to really try our best to do an even or negative split in order to be sure that we are maximizing our race day potential. Okay? So even split, possibility, negative split. Okay, it's just my experience. Okay, this is a SEA Games 2013. Alright, 2 hour 28. You can see that my pace chart here is almost even. Alright, throughout the whole marathon. Okay, you can see that, if you draw a line here, the average 3:29, you can see that most of it is practically even. And when this is an undulating course, you see up and down, up and down, up and down the hill. But really, the more even out, the better. Okay, this is my Seoul Marathon 2017, it's a PB for me. And you can see how even the entire race is. You need to aim for even split. Okay, to maximize your race day potential. Don't go and think of, trying to chiong at the first part. Okay, good. So now, but this does not always work. So wait, look at this one. My race messed up here. Okay, this is a race in Japan, and you can see even split, even split, even split. But then sometimes it still mess up, right? You can do all your planning, okay, but God will always do His will. So you see, so I plan, but then after that you mess up, and then you really die lah. Okay, you still can mess up. So the challenge is what? The challenge is in the prediction of your risk potential. You need to really predict well in order for you to execute well to get an even or negative split. Now, so how do we plan, right? Now, the planning is obviously, if you do a time trial, this is going to be the best accuracy, right? So for better accuracy, use the 1.2 km time trial done 5 weeks before during the benchmark week. You use that, and then you divide that accordingly using our calculator. It will show you everything. All right, you break it down to 100 meters, and then subsequently, you can then execute the race uh, with more confidence. And furthermore, we use the time trial that is done 5 weeks before because we also want some improvement to continue over the next few weeks. So the chances of you getting a negative split will be better, right? Now, how do you execute well? So use the split time or the lap time method, right? You can either press lap on the watch every 400 meters, then you got less mats to handle, or if you use split, you can allow the clock to run and to check with the pre-planned splits. All right. So what people do is they write all the splits on the forearm. Okay. So you can basically on a calculator, once the thing come out right, you can actually write that and transcribe that to your forearm, and then you can then make sure you go through each lap. If you want to use a split method, if you use a lap method, it's much easier. You just need to press lap on the watch, and then you just reset and you calculate again. All right. Now discipline is key. Right. Discipline is really key. It's critical to go through the first 100 meters at the correct pace, or you must quickly adjust so that you complete the first lap at the desired pace. Then, in the last 1 to 2 laps, you can speed up as you feel comfortable. And over the end, confirm you'll be overtaking people, and that will add you to the psychological boost for you to do very well. Okay? So, summary, right? Even, negative, positive. Only 3 options. Recommended strategy, you do an even to a negative, and use a calculator to plan for your race. And execution requires discipline. You need to hold back. You need to hold back and trust in the prediction. Okay, so let me show you the example here. So let's say I run my time trial, okay, and you say I run 3:30, okay, and you calculate. You click race day pacing. You see, it will come out this thing. You come out your estimated race day pace. Okay, it tells you exactly 100, 200, 300 what must you hit, so that on race day you start, you know you must hit 18.2 in the first 100 meters. Okay, and then you proceed on. Okay, now you see, so the advantage if you use the lap function, then you just need to focus on this and you just need to repeat this thing for 6 times. But if you want to use a split method, then you have to write this timing on your forearm and you need to go through every lap at this timing, which honestly you know lah, the maths is much harder, right? I would suggest you use the lap method and then it's going to be much more easier.